The thing is, like, if you're gonna do it, I'm probably not gonna have a lot of time to actually play it. That's why I'm always reticent. People want to send me gifts, because I won't have a lot of time to actually use them, and, you know, use your resources more intelligently. Yes, you can tell when I become a lot more quiet in a video. Artist, huh? I really love Dali, and Salvador Dali was probably my gateway into the art world, and how that was a huge influence in my life as a whole. Surrealism, something I fell in love with when I was a kid. And I remember back when I was in university, I'd skip some classes just because they had this huge book that went through the whole history of Dali. And I just, you know, skip class to go there, go to the library, and just pour through that book. And through a session, I read the whole thing, and I loved it. I loved it from back to other back. Fart answered, I guess. Cheerios and chocolate milk, as I may have said before. That probably happened with pizza before. That never happened. That never happened, especially not to death. But I did have a bee in my mouth once while eating a wild raspberry. Vegan cheese roll sounds gross because I hate cheese. Sense of humor. Basically being its own person and not just, you know, like, a girl needs a personality, you know? And, you will not have my phone number at all. Did I ever get a physical fight? Of course. I'm a dude that was, you know, grew up as a guy. Picard, root beer. Right now, yes. Will you show me the secrets deep inside? I answered that one already with surrealism, and it's pretty neat. I also love some abstract. Not big on minimalism, but the more expressionist sort, so like Kandinsky started, is way in me. Also, I like some of the mathematical aspects of abstract art, but at some point, minimalism becomes dumb. I like the idea, but it becomes dumb anyways. Not in the slightest. Tie between Mega Man 3 and Zelda 3, and I'm gonna be fully honest, this is probably sheer pure nostalgia speaking. She sure does. Not really. There's not really any best aspect to it. Other than that I have the chance to have things in a public space, and thus having people, you know, be able to experience what I do and enjoy them, and sometimes get mad at me and anti-enjoying them, and you know what? Sure, whatever. Any emotional response is a-okay. Beep boop, I'm a robot. Sure. Great. Cornea. Not gonna lie, I've always been a fan of Spider-Man. I always liked that his power was pretty good, but at the same time, isn't too straightforward, and he's also extremely vulnerable, which makes, to me, a lot of DC's superheroes kind of boring, is that they're like gods, basically, other than like Batman. They're too strong. They are. Yes. Also, I am very content with 2D. This is because I tend to prefer simpler games too. Distorted Travesty is about at a very fringe limit of complexity that I want to go at. You could argue that 3D games aren't really that much more complex in the scope of things you actually do, but it's true I've enjoyed like games like Devil May Cry series and whatnot, which are, you know, complex and 3D. I don't know. Also, Duck 1. Okay, the reason why he kind of disappeared is kind of sad. Might as well say it. The duck was always first and foremost a toy for Gaston, my old cat. When he died, basically, I did the thing to do, and, you know, I got rid of his belongings. Got rid of his food and water dish, got rid of his litter box, got rid of his 2 blankets, and I got rid of the duck. I mean, it's there's no point in keeping them, and yeah. Easy chair are great until you actually try to use them as a chair. Otherwise, I like a big, comfortable, you know, comfy computer chair. I think is pretty good. Favorite question is, how's it going? Oh, they pretty much go. I actually don't think about it all that much. You kind of have to at some point. There comes like it's such a gradual thing. You know, at first you got like 1,000, like, wow, 1,000, that's amazing, I'll never get higher than that. And you get 5,000, it's like, holy jeez, and then it's like 10,000, and at some point, you don't become jaded to it, but you become accepting of it. If that makes sense. It's like, okay, this is what's going on. This is the normal state. I'm used to receiving, you know, random PMs and whatnot. This is my existence now. There comes a point you just internalize it. And in a way you have to, because otherwise you just wouldn't be able to do anything. I'm actually terrible at bullet hell games, and for me to make a bullet hell shooter video wouldn't really be a good video, because I just wouldn't do anything, and then Robin LSL would laugh at me. No idea who that is. I know about those, and actually I think they're alright. When they're done good, they can be done really good, and it can be very interesting in terms of just like sheer video editing quality and whatnot. And no, the peanut butter is all for me and only me. Can I cope out and say peace on earth? Like, I'm at this point where I basically buy a thing if I want it, so might as well, you know, spread the love if you got the ability to give me anything. Heck no, probably. I don't play old Nintendo games. There's not really any reasons other than I like to focus on individual efforts. Also, I think it's neat when it's, if not, like, the thing with independent games and ROM hacks is that the creator, if I have a thing to say, the creator can benefit from the comment, either good or bad, if they decide that it is a good comment. Well, older games, don't really benefit anyone ever, anywhere. Is there any YouTubers I don't like? Well, yes, but I don't really pay attention to them really at all, so I don't remember any names. Something you gotta realize about the Runaway guys, they are loud. I don't know if you've seen any of my video that I played with Worms with Pink and, you know, and pals. I'm a quiet dude. In a group setting, I'm gonna be a lot more quiet, and I just get buried in the Runaway guys sort of production, and just would be pointless at some point. And I like both of those. See the past. Also see the past. Although favorite thing to do. I like playing with video games. Maybe, but nothing really planned right now. I try to shy away from pure entire video gimmicks like that. Because the problem is that my regular viewership just kind of gets completely locked out for that video, and it's kind of lame, you know? Me, as a guy who likes to watch serial video content from other people, when I get to a gimmick video like that, I'm always, man, I wish it was a normal video. And I know a lot of people are like that, which is why I tend to shy away from them. The live stream is improbable. Live stream would be improbable. There's a reason for that. It's just that what I like a lot about the internet is the ability to kind of decide when you consume what. And I find a live stream just kind of goes against that very concept. You can archive it, but then even then it's not the same. Rather just do, you know, consume anytime consumptions. Sile's game. What's left? You know how a lot of Mario's details are created just out of sprite limitations back in the day? Demo's kind of similar. Demo is the result of me editing Mario's sprite sheet to just try and see how it feels like. A lot of the fact, like how Demo doesn't have a face nor arms, or is relatively simple, is me kind of dealing with the limits of drawing at a very, very small resolution, just figuring out how the animation worked. Then afterward, as a joke, for the talk house, I just drew her how she ended up looking and just kind of evolved from there. No, actually, no, I do not count achievements the same as completion, unless getting all the achievements actually have an effect on the gameplay itself, like in Binding of Isaac, where, you know, when you unlock an achievement, you'll have an equivalent, for most part, item unlocked in the game. Kind of the same thing. If you look on my achievements are really low, because I just don't really care about them all that much. Sometimes when I get close, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll try a little bit, but otherwise, I'm no, not really. To me, it's too apart. Like, it's too separate from the game itself, so to speak. Man, what up with similar questions that are close to each other like that? I don't know, what if the Onion's rabbit was circle? It tends to be not in so much the individual part, but when they start to get combined, like sliding with homing bullets, or win with just about anything ever. Anything that affects the controls too, like reverse controls or whatever, or altering gravity on the spot, things like that. You can cope with them if you're eased into it, can be fine, but man is it easy to make those really frustrating. Marowak and Marowak 2. You should exist. Sure, why not? Not really! No words here and there in a bunch of languages, but not enough to make like complete sentences. March the 4th. Yeah? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? What? No, not really. I still think Hande is dumb. Because anime proportions are so alien to human proportions, I just don't get it. I'm French born, man. I'm Quebec born, and Quebec's a French province. That's why I speak so fluently. I'm in school in French. I have a French family. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Art was my feel-good thing in my high school years. I always loved to draw, and there's a certain age where if you're marginally good at something, everyone kind of compliments you on it. So I just kind of continued. Because I'm fairly okay at English, especially back then, I basically had my English courses 2 years in advance. The result of that is by the 4th year of high school, the way school is divided in Quebec is different from the rest of the world, so I don't know how to, like, kind of equivalence that. But basically, yeah, I had basically for 2 years, I had an extra empty slot for courses. I just basically had an extra art course. For the last 2 years of high school, I had 2 art classes in my schedule, so I don't think there was 1 day out of a possible 9 where I had 0 art. And I just kept going there. I had a teacher that was way into getting me into art theory and all that, and I just continued. When it was time to go, to college and whatnot, I was a good student, so all the teachers were telling me how college was super important to do, and they encouraged me to go in there, and I just continued, and I kept learning, and yeah, it's kind of a dumb story, but that's kind of what happened. And why do you think I keep going like this? I'm a jerk that thinks that the only generation that counts is the first, but that's only nostalgia speaking, and I'm aware of it. Not really, but I just think he doesn't bring that much to the pancake, Barry! Played it once, there's no reason to play it again. That's true for all video games. Find a high-quality hack of a Kirby game and I'll be there like fleece on a hamster. Otherwise, I played Blue when I was a kid, and Marowak was always there and always had Articuno around. Articuno. I had Jigglypuff around for the sleep thing. Otherwise, oh yeah, my Venusaur, of course. Man, that guy, he could tear a banana up because he was hungry and liked bananas, apparently. I just decided Don't remember the rest. I probably had some sort of electric guy for balance issues and another, but I honestly don't remember the previous answer. I do not mind, in fact, when you correct me things, although be aware that sometimes I mispronounce things on purpose because I think it's funny. Be careful. Ah, you're okay. Conversations, no, but sometimes I'll ask questions to myself out loud, or at the very least at a muttered, you know, volume that can still be heard by people nearby, but Rainbow Dash. Sorry, as a Canadian, I only believe in scales that are metric, so, you know, give me a Kinsey scale in metric and I'll answer you then. Crazy 6 base scale, jeez.